What's up YouTube, Jack Sutcliffe here and welcome back to JS Fitness, or if you're just tuning in, welcome. I hope you find this content useful today. It was a recommendation by one of the viewers and yeah, I think it's quite a good one, so enjoy. So as you've guessed from the title of the video, what documents do you need for immigration to Canada? And well, I've got them down here today. I looked at my laptop last night to see what documents we use to help get immigration and to try keep the process as smooth as possible and as well as quick as possible. And I feel like I thought there was maybe some things missing, but there's not. So it might not seem like a lot here, but when you start having to gather it together and start having to dig through things, especially when you're trying to get like a couple of years worth of history for some of these things, it does take a little bit of time. So this is in like no particular order. However, what I will do is, as and when there is an important document, I will let you know, and again give you like a time frame of as and when you should have that done. So the first document that you can get and prepare for from day one, from this very moment, is your passport. You need a passport to be able to emigrate, and what you want to do is scan in every single page, that's every single page onto your computer, put it into a PDF document, even the blank pages, front, back, the whole lot, every single page of that passport, and that's quite important, so yeah, get that on there. The next one is your driver's license, front, back and paper copy if you do have it. If you don't have a paper copy, then don't worry about it. The next one is your birth certificate as well, because that's just proof of who you are, where you was born, and yeah, it's just further identification of you as a person. And again, all these will be stored. The next one is, I'm going to say credit check. Now, again, this is quite important with your, I'll probably up there with passports and that, because again, that's just telling Canada, the country you're immigrating to, that you've got a good credit score, that you're not trying to run from bankruptcy or anything like that. After that, the one thing that will help to get your permanent residency, and what you will also need once you've been granted PR to come get your PR, is an ETA. So we had an ETA when we visited Canada and when we were applying for our permanent residency, and then when you get your permanent residency, your ETA disappears. It goes, don't know why, that's just what happens, and then you need to get another one, a second one, to then be able to come to the country to collect it. Don't ask me why, that's just what you need. After that, if you're coming with a partner, a spouse, whatever, you're gonna either want your marriage certificate, or if it's like myself, common law, there's like a document you can get offline that you need to get signed by a notifier. Now, this isn't by a doctor or by a police officer or a professional, that is not it. It's a notifier. It's a special owned profession person, and that'll cost you about £150, £200 to get that signature. It'll take all of about 2 minutes, but you need that as well to prove your relationship status, or your marriage certificate if you're married. If not, don't worry about that, that doesn't apply to you. The next one is you're going to want bank statements, and this all ties in with your finances and proving just how much money you've got, and again that people aren't just giving you loads of money for the sake of this immigration process. In the event that anyone has actually given you any money in terms of as a gift that they do not want back, I would write a letter and ask them to sign it, that they understand that the money they've given you is as a gift, that they do not expect it back, and again have them to sign it and all this sort of stuff. Because again, if when you're providing your finances, the Canadian process people feel that there are any lumps of money which are not just, or that may be not yours appropriately, they will not class that, and that could potentially get you kicked back. But if you've got these signed statements from them specific people saying how much they've given you, why, the dates and everything, and that it's signed and that they don't want it back, you should be fine. The next one that we have, oh, hang on a second. Where was that? Yeah, that was that. The next one that we also have is your wage slips. So that again is just 3 or 4 months worth, so 3 or 4 if you get paid bi-weekly, whatever. Again, this is just going to prove how much you earn on a regular basis, that you've had a consistent income coming in, and as well, it proves what your skill, your job role, profession can earn. After that, you're then, again, quite in line with it, you're going to want your CV, job references, job history, and I would say go back about 10 years if you've got it, or as far back as you can for your profession. So myself for OT, I had about 1 year's worth, and then placement experience, so I had educators provide letters of my ability, my manner, all that. My partner, she had about 5 years, so she got her whole work history. And again, this just further proves that you're employable, you're a reliable worker, you're a reliable candidate, you can be employed. And again, just ticks them boxes and will help make this process quicker. After that, you're also going to then want to get a police check, which again, a police and criminal check. So again, depending on what your job role is, you may already have one. So myself, I worked in healthcare, I had one already, but there is another one, a separate one that you do have to get. A general police DBS check will not cut it. Again, put that in it, but there's another one that you have to do as well. I believe it's by Acro or something like that. So yeah, check that out, get that as well. Again, it's all just extra information to support this application. In the event that you do have any criminal history or you have a caution, again with this I would attach basically a statement really saying, just explaining the situation, explaining whatever's on there, and as well if your employers are aware of that situation, again have them write a supporting letter on top of the character reference or job reference letter that they've also supported, because again all of this will help. After that, this is now going into more of like the nitty-gritty bits of the actual process, which you'll do as and when prompted. The first one being the IELTS English language test, or if you come from the French aspect, the French one as well. Again, this is only valid for so long, so do make sure that when you book your test and you get that you are in the process of applying, because the last thing you want is to take this test. It's not cheap, it's not easy, it's for it to expire and you have to come take it again. After the IELTS, you're then going to want to get your education certificate. So if you're coming with a university degree, there's 2 or 3 programs, services, companies, whatever you want to call it, that will accredit your degree to make sure that it is equivalent to the Canadian one. So for myself, we went through WES, or the World Education Service, and they accredited our 3-year degrees as being equivalent to a Canadian 4-year degree. And again, that just shows the Canadian government, when you're applying for permanent residency, that your education is on par and recognisable, and again this will further help with getting into the country. After that, you've then got your medical check. Now this is the one which is really important, and again there's only certain places which are accredited / meet the criteria of what the Canadian and Immigration Services are asking for. And the thing with this is you want to leave the medical check as long as you can, because this medical check is only valid for 1 year, 12 months, and if for argument's sake you get it really early on in the process before you're prompted to, and then you only get your PR through with about a month left of your medical history, you have to land before that medical check expires, because your PR landing date has to be before that expires. So if your medical check expires before you get PR, unfortunately you will have to get another medical check. It's just unfortunately one of the processes, one of the loopholes you've got to jump through, but yeah, unfortunately that is it. And then last but not least, now this isn't necessarily for immigration in terms of to get your PR, but this is in terms of when you're moving to Canada on the day, you're going to want your moving inventory, which is like for your taxes, what you bring into the country and all that stuff. although I did cover that on a previous video, so I'm not going to go into that too much, but it'll be like 1 or 2 down from this. Anyway, everyone, just dead quickly actually, that was all the documents, so just to quickly run through each one of them. That is passport, driver's license, ETA, birth certificate, marriage certificate / common law depending on your circumstances, bank statements, wage slips, job history and references, police checks and certificates, and letter of explanation if anything, medical checks, IELTS language test, education certificates, i.e. equivalency such as WES, or, well, not or, and credit check. That's it, everyone. I hope you found that list useful. Any questions, as always, drop them down below. Please like and comment, share with your friends if you know they're wanting to move and you've discovered this video. As always, there's a link to some more videos somewhere on the screen and to the Patreon page if you do want to support the channel directly. Anyway, everyone, thank you very much, and I'll see you in a bit.